Okay, class, I made a little error earlier with what we just did, so you're going to have to disregard that. When I put in your grades on the test, typically your grades, these percentages, typically you get your grades back as a percent. That's not a problem. But here with the grading policy, I kind of did this a little backwards. What we were supposed to do was take these percentages here and basically make them make them into the numbers instead of your grades. So your grade, so this is how this would go. The class participation is 6%. So we're going to make that 6, and then your grade in class participation was 80%, so it'd be 0.80. Then plus, we have 12%, which would be 12, and then your grade is a 90%, so it'd be 0.90. Then we will have our quizzes, which is 12%, so it'd be 12 times our grade, which is 0.75. And just to reiterate, I made up these grades for your grade here, and this is not anyone's particular grade. So then plus, we will have 12.5 times the 80%, which is 0.80, plus 12.5 times 0.90, that's exam 2. Exam 3, it'll be 12.5 times 0.95. And then exam 4 would be 12.5 times 0.98. And then plus, this would be 20 times 0.99. Now this is all divided by, and we add up all of these numbers, be 6, 12, 12. So we had 12.5 4 times. And then 20. So we divide all of this by the addition of these values. Now we're going to put this in our calculator. Let me just make up, well, so. Okay, so we will have 6 parentheses 0.8. Let me do a division. Come back up here. Then we will have plus 12 times 0.9 plus 12 times 0.75 plus 12.5 times 0.80 plus 12.5 times 0.90 plus 12.5 times 0.95 plus 12.5 times 0.98 plus 20 times 0.99. And then our denominator, we will have 6 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 12.5 plus 20. I think that has everything. Yes. And then our final answer here will be 0.89775, which we know written as a percent is 8.89 point, and they didn't tell us how many places to round. So we'll put 89.78%. That will be our percentage here. Now, it says calculated a weighted average for your category scores. Okay, now for 55, this is what we have here is 54. what I have here on the paper. For 55, it says using your prediction from number 10 and a 0% and 100% for the final exam grade, determine the highest and lowest weighted averages you earn at the end of the semester. So what they're asking you to do here, they're asking you to take this value here, but for your final, they want you to put in your final as if it's a 0% or 100%, and then determine what your grade is. So all we have to do is go to Desmos. Since we already had this in Desmos, all we have to do is go to the top here and change this 20%, this 20 to the 0.99 to 100%, which would be 1.00. And you notice, and this will be problem 55, your average, say 100% final, your average would be 89.98%, and then a 0% final. So we'll change this to a 0. With the 0% final, your average will be 69.98%. So that's all they wanted you all to do.
It's a big drop for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Now it says based on your answer, this number is off because this is supposed to be number 11. 54 is supposed to be number 10 because you see they have these numbers here. It says based on your answer to 11, what is the best and worst grade you could earn for the course? Okay, so the best grade, 89.98. Now, we're not doing any rounding. So 89.98, if we go up here, if we stick to the letter of the law, you notice here, there's no in between the 89 and 90, right?
Oh.
So since it's 89.90, I guess we would have to round and go to the 4.0. So it'll be a 4.0 or 69.98. That's really close to a 70%. So that would be a 2.0 or a 2.0. Wow. So that cut the grade in half.
It does. That's scary. Like I have to do at least half on the final.
Right. Okay, so we are basically done with the review, and I hope all of you have had a great semester, and I trust that all of you will do well on the upcoming final.